Hey there. So this movie is about weight loss, losing weight. Both of you have been successful in losing weight at various times in your life. Greg, you look thin right now.
Thank you. I'm at a good weight. I feel good, and that's what I go by the most. And how I look may be part of it, but it's not how I look from the outside. I really look the inside. My alignment, I sort of get a sense of everything. I can tell how my weight is.
So hold up your hands, and I want you to test. Is this a way of using psychic powers, psychic abilities, to lose weight? See if you get a signal.
I get yes.
So you got a signal, and you got a signal. Now, can either of you elaborate, or both of you will just elaborate on that?
Okay, Greg, and then I'll come back.
Okay. My attention in life includes many things, and one of them would be doing things for myself, and would be like what I eat, how I exercise, how I walk. It's just over time I've accumulated all this knowledge, and I use it continually to make choices at times. So it's a psychic thing that's going on all the time, even while I'm getting the mail and talking to someone and driving in the car.
Ron?
Call that psychic. It's, it's connected to my life. I'm not just walking around in an alien world. I'm creating my world and my body and my life.
Ron,
what do you have to? What thoughts does that engender in you?
Well, yeah, I mean, all those things do come into play. I mean, specifically with me with weight, it's been a little more straightforward, and that is, I wanted to, when I was heavy, I didn't want to be that heavy, and I made a decision to, take certain action to just change the way I was, as a person. And, part of that was changing the things I ate and when I ate them. And those things started to work. I don't really think about the exercise so much. I do exercise, but I don't really think about that specifically, or how I carried myself. But I just thought, if I do these few things, I think it's going to make a difference in my life. And it did. And it was pretty simple for me. And it would just work, and it continues to work. Let's put it that way. It's funny because here it is the weekend, and I talked about, I think in the other movie about having a lot of, just being able to do whatever I wanted on the weekend as far as eat sweets and fats and whatever. And I had a little bit of ice cream today, and it was wonderful, but it wasn't, it wasn't like a big thing where it used to be like on a daily event. I had to have it, almost like an addiction.
So you didn't spend the weekend binging?
No. I mean, it was just like, okay, I'll have some, and it was no big deal. Whereas, it really was, I would think, more an addictive behavior, so eating some things because I felt I had to have, and those things just kind of faded away, and I was really fortunate that happened.
Well, let's show your signal again. And what I want you to test now is are these signals an exercise of psychic powers, like when your fingers move?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And do you test things to do for yourselves to lose weight this way with your fingers?
I do.
Yes.
Okay,
could you elaborate on that?
Okay, quite simply, when I'm in the restaurant, last couple of days, or more recently, I really pay a very real strict attention to my signals. I'll look on the menus, just on a menu, and there's so many choices you could have just for to eat out, for example, and it's really funny because I'll just trust what I see when I'll scan the menu and I'll get to a certain item because I'm not like attached to having anything specific because I'm open to trying anything, and I wait and I'll scan and I'll get a signal and I'll say, okay, I'll try that, I'll have it, and that's how I use it specifically when I'm going out to eat and even at home.
Greg?
I consciously test as far as eating, sleeping, drinking water. It's an awareness of myself all during the day. And definitely if I go out to eat or when I eat, what I eat. So it seems normal to me now. I hardly talk about it or even think about it. I relate to what Ron was saying about, gosh, what were you saying now? About not being addicted. There are things that I will do now and then. I'll say, basically, this isn't so good to have a coffee with sugar, but I haven't cut it out completely.
Well, we were talking about
the
signals, like using signals. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, actually using signals. Well, I test a food or anything I have, before I eat it. Like, is it good for me? Is it going to add some, make me a little weird, like coffee? I say, oh boy, I'll get a buzz out of that, and gee, I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, let me ask you, like you were talking about addictions, and as you were talking about it, you were furiously scratching your nose.
Yeah, I went like this. No.
Are you a cocaine addict?
No, what is it? This means mother. No, this means mother here, or something like that.
That means you're a monkey when you scratch your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know that elimination is a major part of losing weight.
Yeah.
Are there things that you use signals for in that area?
Yeah, it's so second nature to me. It's like I know that I'm testing. I have, whether it's a full feeling with not just my stomach, my body feels full or bulbous.
Yeah.
Like if you can feel it in the tissues it's like an edema that you carry around more stuff.
So that's a signal.
That's a signal. And also feeling of emptiness. I like a feeling of emptiness. So it's not like, oh, I feel the emptiness, I have to fill it up.
You like feeling empty.
To like that, and I know when I'm getting too full. I know I just am aware of the range like that.
Well, Ron, what do you have to say about this elimination and signals thing? Like what thoughts are you having as you listen to Greg?
Well, I was thinking. I wasn't thinking so much about the elimination. I was thinking of where I work. There's snacks right there where I am, in the room where I am, and it's funny because I'll look over at them and I'll walk over and say they would be nice to have, and I'll test, is this a good time to have? And it's funny because most of the time I get a no, whereas people I think eat them, unconsciously. I just like grab them and go crazy. There's no thought behind it. So I'm glad that there's some discrimination there, and as far as checking and doing signals, then that's something I just choose not to include.
Well, we're in a world full of 300-pound women who eat snacks all afternoon at work.
Yeah, there's a lot of obesity out there.
Now, when I just said that, what did you feel? Like,
it was very sobering when you said that to me. I was sad when you said that there's a lot of people that are struggling with weight, either or not even thinking about it, you know?
Well, test this question, both of you. Let's see your test again.
I have to hold my hand up. I don't normally do that.
Yeah, this is just for the purpose of the people watching the movie.
Right.
So I want you to test, is there, when I heard Bayard say that about the women eating all day when they're at 300 pounds and they're eating sweets and snacks and so on, did I go into a negative state or a positive state? First test negative and see if you get a signal.
I got negative.
I got negative. I got
yes or negative state.
I got sad and just saw it in my mind's eye.
Now, how about a test a positive state and see if you get a test on that?
Yeah.
I got positive also. Because it's like I turn things into positives.
So it was basically negative. So now, just say this: I'm now shielding myself from the negative effects of those people.
Shielding myself from the negative effects of those people.
I got a yes on that with the shield when I said that.
Good. Greg?
Oh yes, I got yes.
Okay. Now, do you feel any different now?
I feel lighter. I feel okay. I feel good actually. Just from doing that little thing.
Great.
Yeah, I feel great. It just passed it even at the time. I saw that and I went, whoa, kind of got a little depressed, and then I came out of it. I've been much quicker at that and not reacting to all the things I used to react to in other people.
Well, ask this question, like, have I ever gone into a negative state when I saw a person who was being harmed by eating, and when I saw them eating, when they were harming themselves by eating, did I ever go into a negative state just by seeing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what we need to understand is that this negative state will cause you to lose control of your metabolism. See, because that's what this is about. What we're trying to do here is put the person who's watching this in control of their metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing that by talking about how we use psychic powers to control our metabolism.
Yeah, I do it instantaneously, and by noticing my signals, sadness for me right there was a signal.
Right.
I just notice what's going on with me, and I take everything really as a signal.
Mm-hmm.
It's really becoming aware of a lot of things, every moment, it's if you can. I mean, you certainly can. It's just, are you?
Back to now. Here we go.
Okay.
So we're talking about using psychic powers to lose weight, to control our metabolism, to be healthy.
Yes.
And so tell me a story, somebody, when you did that. Tell me about a time when you did that. I'm usually the one with the story, so tonight you get to be the one with the story tonight.
Wow, I get to be a storyteller?
Yeah.
That's truly an art.
Anyway, I'll guide you. I'll be your guide. How about that?
Sounds good. Okay. I was at a point where I was very, very uncomfortable.
Uh-huh.
Not enjoying who I was, and I just felt like I was out of control. So somehow I was able to muster up enough willpower to like draw a line in the sand for myself and say, this is it.
When was this?
This was a couple years ago.
Okay.
And so I just said, this is it. I'm going to change. I'm going to do something for myself.
And you weren't getting signals back then.
No.
You just decided you were going to do what millions of people have done. You know, they draw the line in the sand. And what happened?
Well, fortunately, I was successful. I just shifted a few things around. I stopped eating late at night, which was not a difficult thing to do.
So you dumped the blatantly wrong things that you were doing.
I would eat all hours of the night. I would hang out with my friend, and we'd stay up we'd stay up late and go out to eat and be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I'd be getting up at 7, 8 o'clock. I just was living a really tough life. Not the way it was not real harmonious.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just really out of control.
Okay, so there's your story about how did that involve the use of psychic powers, or did it?
I would think it was more so that when we started working together within the last year, that I really got a huge benefit out of it. I was happy that I was able to make some changes on my own, but I think I became a lot more aware of the things that I'm doing, on a daily basis with the work that we do.
I want to ask you, is this easier than what you did 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's let's put it that way. I can definitely make changes much easier. It's easier to make that decision, rather than holding something off or holding it, just say I'll do it later. I remember, my grandmother and my mother would say about diets, well, I'll start Monday. Monday, it would well, not this Monday, it would always be Monday.
Right.
But that always struck me as being pretty funny. But I'm able to make a decision now and stick with it rather easily. And testing really helps so much. What makes
it easier to stick with something that you decide to do?
I feel what makes it easier is I feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable with my decisions.
Why? Why do you feel more comfortable?
That it's the right thing for myself to do.
Okay, why do you feel more comfortable with them?
And that just comes along with it.
Okay, hold your hand up. And Greg?
Mm-hmm.
And test this. When I test something, do I feel more comfortable with it?
Yes.
Yes.
And why might that be? And let's test what comes to your mind. So, what came to your mind that you just got a signal on?
Well, I feel really close to spirit. I feel close to spirit or God or energy. I feel close to that, my connection inside, and I feel that is my confidence, is my trust.
So it's
very close to that.
Test this question. It's easier to feel comfortable with my decision when God tells me it's a good one.
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Okay. So that's also when I get a signal, do I feel better?
Not always.
But sometimes, right? Do I sometimes feel better?
Yeah.
Do you feel any different than right when we first started filming tonight? Or is there a difference in you now as opposed to 20 minutes ago? This
is still new to me as far as making these films, so I have a little bit of apprehension, but I feel much better.
Okay. Greg, do you feel better? Different?
Yes, and I think just more attentive with myself and being with you and being seen. You know, I imagine people watching this on YouTube or somewhere, and just, I'm fine. You know, I feel good when I get a signal. I feel good when I'm testing because of the connection. I'm just connecting more fully than I was.
Well, test this. Bring your hands up. Does getting signals boost my confidence?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't call it confidence. Well, it's confidence. It's just, you know, a feeling of wholeness about myself and everything. So that's a confidence.
Well, I once wrote something that said you need to be confident in yourself, in God, and also in your, and in me, Bayard, or the Cure Drive. You need to have confidence in all those things to cure things. I mean,
yeah,
in this case, to control your metabolism.
It's right. It's not a blind adherence. It's a confidence of experience.
Yes.
Of beingness. Yeah.
People develop confidence through experience.
Absolutely.
And when you're like the person watching this movie should be doing what you're doing. They should be testing the questions that you tested and making up their own questions to get signals on.
I feel confident that I can be anywhere, handle anything, be with anyone.
Okay.
In any situation.
Well, if whoever wants to control their metabolism and who's watching this movie, if that person gets signals, their confidence will increase. They
Yes.
become more confident when they get their own signals. At one time, sorry, go ahead.
If I'm having a negative experience, I'm not as confident. I've never put it that way, but it's just there's something wrong with me, and it's because there's something wrong. I'm not confident with myself.
Mm-hmm.
My little weight story, since you were asking earlier, just a little while ago, I was taking care of my father, and I wasn't sleeping much, and I wasn't eating very well. My schedule was all thrown off, and I found I was just sitting and kind of collapsing. So I was into a state, somewhat depressed, and I was putting on weight. And you asked whether it was a psychic thing. I made a decision. I said, "Bing! I gotta reverse this." I basically just bing. I started reversing it, and so that was a psychic change in me. And then I did whatever came along, like exercising, making clear, conscious choices about getting my father in bed earlier and moving him along and managing better, and how much time I spent in this and that and eating and so forth. And I dropped 20 pounds. And I opened up my spine. I wasn't collapsing. I got stronger inside. Just
well, let's test this. Does confidence lead to weight loss?
Yeah. It can. I think you can make from there. You can make choices.
Does confidence cause metabolic control?
Yes.
Yes.
And it really isn't about making choices and all that. It really is just when you're more confident, your metabolism becomes more normal and starts to take over and fix you.
Right. Whether you're aware or not.
Yeah, because your metabolism
comes more awareness of that.
That's right.
Process in you.
Like I'm skinny and I don't really eat very much animal fat. And I'm recalling a time when I used to sizzle steaks and I'd eat like the fat off the steak, I'd be sitting there, Greg's laughing at me because he remembers this. I have grease all over my face and everything. And it was just all, I love grease, fried grease. And I was still skinny. I just never, and when I went to get my cholesterol tested, I had low cholesterol because I wasn't eating any eggs is one reason. So I started eating eggs, because if you have low cholesterol, you lose your memory. But anyway, I just, when we talk to people about this, they think that we're telling them that we have some kind of a diet that they should do, and they don't realize that there is the diet is control.
Yeah.
What do you?
Then you investigate diets with you want what works and what doesn't work for you.
Yeah, we expect them to investigate and find the right diets for them. Because the diet is the grape diet and the Atkins diet and the Pritikin diet and the, it's all the diets. The
blood type diet.
Yeah, we said that. You were reading my mind, Greg.
Yeah, you're trying to think of other diets.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago I did Fit for Life.
We did too.
Yeah.
We did Fit for Life too.
Yeah.
Our whole organization did it for a while.
So all of that is in me. And I'd say I have a pretty good diet.
You seem to have a pretty good diet, Greg.
Yeah.
You do. And you look good,
And I haven't really exercised about 2 months.
Really? Why?
I had really opened up my lower back and hips and had really changed in there, and that change has been transferring into my legs. If I stood up, you'd say, "Whoa, what's with your legs?" I have very strange legs, bow legs, and one knee is different than the other, one's a little longer than the other, and all that's been changing over the last 2 or 3 years. I was out running, and I was fine if I was on a flat surface. I rarely run, any distance these days. But I was running on grass because it was softer, and I hit something, and my knee, I went down, my knee twisted, and I wrenched it. And actually, I sprained my knee in various places. And it's taken this time to really, it's been tight and painful, and it's taken all this time for it to release and then find the new area that was going to release and get better. And I've just been coaxing it along. I haven't gained any weight because I keep my metabolism going well. Mm-hmm. I can maintain myself psychically without the exercise, but I know the exercise is better. But I go back to a yoga class. I went to a yoga class first time in a while, and it was, I was strong and flexible. I just had to watch that knee. I'm sure I did something, but nothing where it would warrant any kind of an operation, because that would make it worse. I know how to come back from injuries like that, because as a dancer and as an athlete, when I played soccer and lacrosse, I always had to, I just had weird knees.
Well, this is good. This is very good. Test this. Hold up your hands. Have I learned anything tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you see what it was?
Yeah, for me, I need a little more exercise. I move around a lot during the day at work, but that's not, I don't know if you really call that exercise. I'm always moving around, and I play golf, but I was thinking along the lines as far as doing some yoga as well as what Greg was talking about. I think that would be great to get back into that. I hadn't done that in a long time.
So you're seeing a change coming,
yes.
for yourself. You're feeling like you want to create a change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what I do is I do 5 minutes of yoga here and there. I lay down on the floor and do some yoga. I do that throughout the day. So you could start there, One thing that helped me was I watched yoga videos on the web.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed yoga postures that I saw and started, doing them. I made a little routine for myself that takes about 4 or 5 minutes.
You could do that.
Yeah. So you don't have to...
I did that with swimming just to improve my stroke.
You mean you swim for like 5 minutes?
I would swim, I'd swim like 4 laps, 6 laps, 8 laps at the most. But I would watch the videos, some video on YouTube, and then I just get some things from that and go out and do that.
You mean in the pool? You mean the pool in our backyard, right?
No, I mean a pool here where I am.
Oh, so you mean you take short swims at the health club?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a long swim for me, 8 laps.
Okay.
2 laps is a short swim. I mean, I'm like, because it's like just to get myself together, and I can do that instantly. Like as a dancer, Murray Lewis once said, you can do 2 pliés and be warmed up if you do them well.
Yeah, right. That's very well put. That really is well put. Well, I've been taking a short swim in the pool where I kick and, vibrate my hands, and it's been pretty good. I do it every day. Sort of during my shower. I just get out of the shower and go in the pool and then come back and finish my shower. Doesn't take long, maybe 5 minutes. Makes a change in me.
Yeah. Exercise definitely makes a change.
Well, there are 4 determinants of metabolism, and one of them is exercise. Well, anyway, this is there are 4 determinants of metabolism. One is elimination, and another one is rhythm. Of course, then there's diet and exercise. Do you have any ideas about rhythm?
Yeah, we talked about that not too long ago, and that was one aspect of rhythm is like change. I guess time. As far as the changing when you eat or something like that. That could be a rhythm. Am I correct?
Well, you decided not to eat at all hours of the night because it was breaking up your rhythm.
Yes.
Your rhythm would be eat, then sleep. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so then wake up, then exercise, then eat. Elimination comes in there somewhere. And elimination happens through the skin as well as, through the bowels. When you wake up, like when I wake up, I rinse my mouth out, brush my tongue, massage my gums, because toxins are eliminated through the mouth. We wake up, we have a mouthful of toxins. You don't want to swallow those again. You want to get them out. So that's elimination. So any other ideas about this?
I do that in the middle of the night when I get up. I rinse my mouth out. Hot water, I rinse it out a number of times.
Oh, me too, actually.
And
yeah, that's right.
Years ago, I read...
Greg's being rhythmic right now. Look at him.
Years ago, I read a book by a guy named Pablo Areola, and he wrote about fasting, and one of the things he wrote in that was a dry brush massage. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing to do before you take your shower. So it takes care of your saying that you eliminate through the pores, but if you brush off the dead skin, that's another way of eliminating. And it stimulates the skin and the blood flow too.
Yeah, I do that. Well, I used to do it a lot more, and I've just got some brushes over here. Start doing that again. You move everything through the capillaries and through the whole body, and you can do it up your legs towards your heart and up your arms like this. But particularly when I do my face, I think I'm going to get rid of my wrinkles. That plus fasting, and I think it'll firm back up. My rhythm is during the day, like when I wake up, I will drink something, but I don't eat anything right away, and usually I exercise first. I mean, it's just, I always do some form of exercise first, and I use that elimination cycle. I eliminate a lot in the morning, and I do periodically during the day.
Well, I've been doing that dry brushing for like 30 years before my showers.
That's great. That's great.
Yep. Another thing I started in 1970 was having fresh squeezed vegetable juice with lunch every day. I haven't missed a day, or well, I've missed a few days, but when I've missed a few days, I've had really, just nice raw vegetables instead.
Wow.
I just don't understand why you don't know this. Like not to do, why don't you know not to do that?
I think I do know not to do it.
Why do
I'm
you
an
do
addict
it?
when it comes to the computer like that.
Okay.
You know, getting messages on Facebook, like we're in a meeting and people...
All right, hold up your hands and let's test. Am I an addict with regard to the computer? And Ron, would you test with us?
It's the tension thing I was talking about earlier.
Is that an addiction?
Yes.
So it's a symptom of addiction? Is there any other reason why I do that? Did you get a signal?
I got no signal.
Okay. Well, then that's it. Okay. So I'm now removing my addiction to the computer.
Well, that's the... It's...
And let me know when you get a signal.
I'm removing my addiction to the computer. Okay. Get a yes.
You feel any different?
Yeah. Present. Relaxed. Dropped in energy, a trying energy, like trying to connect through the camera.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I'm glad we've been able, then this has been a productive call because we've actually helped you, feel like more, really free of dysfunction, disease.
Yeah.
And this is, this is a good place to stop. It's probably around midnight, I guess, right?
A few minutes.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah. So this is a good place to stop. I want to thank both of you. This has been really great. I think that there's a lot of things, a lot of good things in this that we can use.
When we took our break, I was just asking, God, that this would be helpful to somebody out there, So.
It's helpful to me, especially when you said I looked like a crack cocaine addict. Because it reminds me of when I used to do something with my mouth, or when I'd be writing, I go like this, or I don't know. And Linny, who was in the office at the time, used to say mouth, or something like that. And I put one and one together there. What was I doing at that time? What was I thinking? What was going through me right at that time when I looked like a crack cocaine addict?
Right.
Where was I?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's often some imaginative thing.
And actually, you're an example of somebody who's pretty functional.
Really? Yeah.
You're a pretty functional guy, all things considered.
It's and the thing was, I get this whole thing about being accepted and being admired. The guy who just connected with me is my scene partner for my acting class, and he's not going to have time to rehearse. Maybe tomorrow on Skype for a little while, but we're not going to have any time to rehearse before we have to do this thing on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got to look good. I got to do a good job. So that all that was going through my mind right then.
Why are you telling us that?
Good point.
I think you'll be fine anyway.
You know, and as I did, I
Well, test this
got
question.
more dysfunctional. I was doing that.
Did I?
That was
test,
a symptom there. Telling you was a symptom.
Test this. Did I go back into it?
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. I went back into it. Right.
Okay. You know what's coming out in this, in this period of your life, is that you're a raging egomaniac, and it has destroyed your relationships and your life.
Yes.
So, but you know, the good news is you're in a position to cure it now, especially because you can see it. So when you can see something, you can cure it.
Yeah. I'll write that one down. Big letters on the wall. Raging egomaniac. I have a mirror by the door. This is the face of a raging egomaniac.
Just try not to take it all too seriously, okay, Greg?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Just try it. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Well, Ron, and thank you for being here and indulging all of our whimsies here. And yeah, I think that you've helped people tonight, Ron, and I really appreciate you.
That was my desire.
And Greg, so have you, by showing yourself so completely. You really do show yourself, and yeah, you have to be given some credit for that. You know,
yeah, a little bit.
That's a good thing. You know, you're giving a gift whenever you do that.
Thank you.
Hopefully that'll throw your ego a little bone there, you know. All right, I'm turning this off.